This is going to be fun, guys. I'm excited for today's episode. First of all, subscribe, rate, review, tell a friend, uh, tell everyone. Reza Rifts, that's the podcast. Yeah. Anyways, I'm very excited for this guest. She's in one of my favorite movies of all time. If you guys know me, I love white chicks. I think it's one of the best comedies. You've also seen her in SWAT, Criminal Minds. Desperate Housewives, The Purge. She has a new TV show coming out in January called Watson, and it's going to be great. I'm very excited to talk to Rochelle Aytes, and it's going to be fun. So subscribe, rate, review, and enjoy Reza Rifts with Rochelle Aytes.
From Hollywood, California, welcome to Reza Rifts with your host, Keith Reza.
Hi, Rochelle.
Hi, so sorry. I was like trying to find the email. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm great. Thanks for having me on your show.
Thanks for saying yes. I was about to get in your DMs. I was like,
I know, sorry. I'm here. I'm here.
Oh, thank you so much. It's an honor to meet you. This is so cool. Thank you so much.
Oh, of course. I'm trying to, I don't want to look at myself. How do I not?
Oh, you're a lot prettier than me. I don't think you want to look at me.
Yes, I want to look at you.
Oh, okay. Excellent, excellent.
I have to pin you, right? Yes.
Uh,
There you go. It's been a while.
isn't it funny how technology on Zoom has like changed the whole that's what the normal now. You know what I mean?
I know. It's crazy, but it's a great way to communicate with people you may not otherwise have, gotten to meet.
Yeah. You remember back in the days where like you did interviews, you'd like have to go into a radio station or go to a talk show host and
Uh-huh.
they give you water and they'd be like, ah.
I like those too. Like
Yeah.
this is way more this I can just, put this on and then I could just keep on my funky clothes
The
underneath.
the red Christmas socks. I like it. It's so funny because like before I we started the podcast, my aunt texted me and she's like, "What do you want for Christmas?" I was like, "Oh my God." So now I have to think of like ideas just to get her off my back, you know what I mean?
Red Christmas socks. There you go.
I know, yeah, that would be great. So I wanted to ask you, I wanted to start off is it easier for you to be interviewed by celebrities or by normal people, like normal folks?
Oh, I'm trying to think. I've honestly never been interviewed. Have I been interviewed by celebrities? Oh, yes, I have, of course. I feel
Yeah.
like it's way more comfortable with normal folks because
Uh,
you just relax and they're relaxed, right?
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I was going to say, because I'm an F-list celebrity. So,
A, B, C, D. Didn't know there was an F.
yeah, I just do stand up.
Ah.
So that's all, You know how stand-ups are the bottom feeders of the celebrity.
Oh, that's all right.
Yeah.
I listen, I'm like a cool C plus.
Oh, I think you're an A plus. I think you're great.
No, no, I'm
Yeah.
not at that status, but thank you.
No, you definitely are. We should probably start with the first thing because I remember when I was a kid, I saw white chicks and I had the biggest crush on you. I was like, ah,
Oh, that's so sweet.
yeah.
Yes.
So was that your first actual movie?
That was my first movie. I had done two things prior to that, which was like a small guest star role on like Sex and the City or something like that, and one other thing. But then I got White Chicks, and I had been acting for all of 2 years at that
Yeah.
time. So it was pretty exciting, but also very scary to all of a sudden just be in such a blockbuster film because, I mean, that was a pretty big movie to start my career out on.
No, yeah. And it's one of the funniest movies ever, and it's also one of those movies that you probably can't make today. You know what I mean?
Nope. Nope. And people have they have asked the Wayans brothers. I've seen the questions, when are you going to do a part two? And it's like, I just don't think you could.
Yeah.
It's, yeah, no, we're too sensitive these days.
I know, it's so crazy.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what else is crazy? If Sean didn't lie to you, you probably would have hooked up with Terry Crews.
Right, exactly. I didn't think about that.
But no, I wanted to ask you, I know you only had one scene with him, but I wanted to ask you, did you have like any interactions with John Hurd? Because I thought he was like the best character actor in the world, you know?
Wait, I only have one scene with who? Terry Crews.
John Hurd, he shot
Oh
good.
yes, 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 yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was what's the it was the very end.
yeah.
But yeah, he was so cool. I mean, I oh yes, that's right. I had that one. I'm trying to think. I'm like, wow, that's 20 years ago. Yes, 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 yes.
John Hurd's
He
in Home
catches me,
Alone.
when he catches me and I'm like hiding. No, I'm trying to remember the story.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, he was awesome. I don't really remember anything off screen. Like I just feel like we were in that moment, and I remember him just being such a great actor.
Yeah. It must be pretty intense, like on your first movie, because you're working with all these greats, and you're like, you know?
Oh yeah, I was pretty much scared to death. I was like, "Oh my God, I can't believe I'm here. I cannot believe they've hired me. What if I can't do this?" But the Wayans brothers, Keenan, Sean, Marlon, they and Terry Crews, like they were all so cool, so kind. We were literally a family on that show, on that movie. For
Yeah.
shot it for I think 4 months, 3 or 4 months. That's when you actually got time, right, to film.
That's when they actually used to make movies. It took like
Yeah,
5 to 6 months to make a film. Now it takes like 30 days.
no, but we did that in like 4 months in Vancouver,
Yeah.
and we would go like to clubs and dinners and the movies together. Like we were such a family on that show, and I just to this day that was honestly one of the best experiences I've ever had.
When you went out, did you wear your red Christmas socks?
No, I didn't have those. I was I wasn't as cool as I am now.
And then I wanted to ask you, what was it like being directed by Tyler Perry? Because that's like a big deal too.
And that was my second big movie. Oh my gosh. I was still very young and green, and I couldn't believe I got that one either. But it was an amazing experience. Like, I learned so much on that film, and that was more of a leading role you know
Yeah.
than White Chicks. And we shot that again for like 3 months in Atlanta, and it felt like a play in a way because Tyler came from the
The playwritings and stuff, right?
playwriting, yeah,
Yeah.
world, and we had rehearsals to like really prepare and figure out this, like the especially that a scene in the end, like towards the end, not the end, but like almost towards the end when Linwood Phil's character, no, 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 my sister confessed or talks about how she was, you know, pretty
Yeah.
much raped by her dad
We
or whatever.
we
We
call
had
that the end of the second act.
and, right, it was intense, but we have rehearsals for that like early in the morning and set it up. So he was good about that, like really giving us the time and the space to work and create.
Yeah. How is it though, like, because, like, he wrote and he directed it and he's also in it. Like, I feel if you're an actor, you're just acting, and then when you're directing it, there's like two different hats. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he had to wear all of them. Not only did he write it and direct it, he also played several characters in it. So
Yeah.
what was funny sometimes was like he would be Medea, but he would be talking in Tyler's voice to give direction. And so in the beginning, it was kind of weird, but you get
You get
you
used
get
to it
used
after
to it.
5 months.
Exactly.
Uh, and then you jumped into the Trick or Treat, which that was your first horror film, right? Am I wrong on
Yep,
that?
yep, that
Uh,
was. Yep.
ah,
I did that again in Vancouver.
wow, Vancouver's your lucky city.
I've worked in Vancouver like at least 5 times. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. But yeah, that one we shot it in a month at night, actually.
really.
It was all nights. It was so weird. We drank a lot of Red Bull. I tell you,
Does it give you wings?
you just fly high. But yeah, it was so much. That was a lot of fun too. Anna Paquin was
Yeah.
in it. Dylan Baker was in it, and
Brian Cox had a couple
Ryan
scenes in it.
Cox.
Yeah.
I didn't really get to see them actually. I don't think I don't remember seeing them at all. But in my story, like I'm not see
But
them.
at least you were in the movie,
They were in
though.
the movie, right? But in my storyline, Anna Paquin, and then we had the two other women, and we had a really good time. Oh, fun story on that movie. So I don't like contacts. I do wear glasses, but
Okay.
I don't like contacts. I just can't put things in my eyes. And so when I first got it, they had to measure my eyes to give us these contacts. Spoiler alert for anyone who hasn't seen this movie.
20
20
years later.
we play werewolves. So there's a point where we all transition or whatever, and so they told me for a month. They said practice going like this and putting your finger by your eye, just getting closer. And I tried, but the day came where we had to put those big contacts, and they're not normal contacts either. They were huge.
Right.
It took them about 20 minutes to put these contacts in my eyes because I was having a panic attack.
Oh
And
my
then
God.
finally, when I got them in, I just, kept them in for the whole night because it was just a one night of filming the werewolf scene.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that was probably the challenge for me of that movie. But other than that, it was a lot of fun.
So you and I have that in common as well because I am terrified of contacts. And like I don't like I wear glasses. I'm not wearing any right now, but I've never worn contacts because that's like one of my fears. Like what if I poke my eye out? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I just don't even like I can't imagine the feeling of touching my eyeball. Do you know?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'd rather be called Four Eyes.
of course. Of course.
Save me from poking my eye.
Exactly.
But then you did this TV show, which I thought was great, and it's on Amazon Prime now, but I'm sure it came out a long time ago. It was called Drive, and you had a couple scenes with the great Taryn Manning.
Yes.
And I was just wondering, like, what happened with that show? Because that show was great.
I was talking to someone about this recently, and I think it was just before its time,
Yeah.
you know? And I think we shot like 7 episodes, and it didn't air. I don't think we aired all of them.
On Amazon, it only has the first three.
Oh,
So,
really? That's not right. At least show all that we shot. If you pay for it, put it out there. That's
right.
weird. I thought it was a great concept, but I don't know. Listen, the audience dictates what's out there. So maybe it obviously didn't catch on. But Taryn Manning was in it. Again, Dylan Baker.
Yeah, you got your work with Dylan twice
I know,
now.
I got exactly. And that one we actually did work together at one point because I changed cars, right? And so then I
Yeah.
was in the car with him. And Nathan Fillion was in it. It was I mean, it could have been something. Oh
Yeah.
well. Yeah.
You know what I'm going to do after this podcast is I'm going to tweet to my 4,000 followers and say, "Hey, tell Fox to bring back Drive."
I think it would work this time.
Oh no. But yeah, Taryn Manning's great. Like I have a huge crush on her too. She's actually going to do the podcast in a couple weeks, but
Oh, cool. Well, if she remembers me, tell her I said hello.
oh yeah, definitely. But yeah, I just thought that that was such a great show, and I was like, you were also like one of the leads in that too. You had a lot of screen time on that.
I did.
I thought you did, yeah. For a TV show?
Yeah, I don't remember now. I feel like funny story is I actually got that role while I was in Vancouver filming Trick or Treat.
Vancouver.
I
That's
was
your
in
lucky
Vancouver.
city.
I know. And then I had the callback, so I had to fly to back to LA to do the test. But guess what? I
What?
didn't have any lines. If you don't remember the pilot episode, I was catatonic.
Like you were just in this
I
in the
couldn't
script.
speak.
Oh,
I was just like,
really?
yeah, it was like something was wrong with me. Again, I can't remember now, but there was some mental, maybe I had a mental breakdown or something. I can't remember, but I didn't have lines. That's why.
I'm gonna have to give you my Amazon Prime info because I'd like to argue that. I thought you had a lot of lines.
No, in the pilot. So the
Oh,
first,
oh, okay.
I didn't have lines. So when I auditioned, it's not like I had a whole lot of words to focus on. It was more about my thoughts or something. So it went really well.
Oh, okay.
I think
Nice.
at some point I started speaking. Yeah.
And then here's the thing is also you did a little a voice thing for a video game called Left 4 Dead and you played your own name. How cool is
That
that?
was really cool. However, the actual person was different.
Yeah.
It was, oh, I know her name too. She's on a TV show now called Found, and she was on Shameless. Oh my God. Why can't I think of her name? Oh well, it'll come when this is all over. But it was her face, her body, and it was my voice.
Yeah.
It was a weird one, but that was fun to do. I had to drink
Yeah.
a lot of tea
Oh, really?
in those sessions, just all that talking and screaming. And I just remember being like, Boomer. That's it.
But no, for video game voice over work, like I would imagine it's so hard and also awkward because like what if you don't play the game and you're like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I didn't. I didn't play the game, but I just followed their direction, and they would say, "Okay, now you see this thing, and you yell this, and now you see this coming." And it was quite a few sessions of
Yeah.
like 6 hours each, and I'd be like, "Okay, let me drink some tea, get some honey." It's all about the voice. All
Yeah.
about the voice.
I auditioned for like to be a radio DJ on Grand Theft Auto or whatever. I didn't get
Okay.
it, but
Uh-huh.
I thought it was just so I was like if I'm gonna be in Grand Theft Auto, I want to be like one of the guys who's getting beat up or says something funny. You know what I mean?
Right, right.
Like that's my key. But and then I found this very interesting, and I was actually trying to find this before I talked to you. It says on the Google that you did a Coca-Cola commercial, and I wanted to know what was that? Like, did you not do a Coca-Cola commercial?
Dr. Pepper?
Dr. Pepper's Coca-Cola, yeah,
Oh, Dr. Pepper is Coca-Cola.
yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I didn't put those two together. I did a Dr. Pepper commercial.
These
So
soft drinks are so crazy.
I don't even drink soft drinks actually. But I did that so I used to be a dancer
Yeah,
before I started acting. And yeah, I did a Dr. Pepper commercial and we were dancing like Latin dancing in the streets of New York. It was fun.
yeah. I think Coke commercials are like the funniest commercials because like you learn so much about life in 30 seconds on a Coke commercial. Like if I ever come face to
Yeah,
face with a polar bear, I'm just gonna give him a Coca-Cola and I escape death.
exactly. You do learn a lot of lessons, a lot
I
of life-saving lessons.
exactly, yeah. And Dr. Pepper, you learn your doctor's he likes pepper, I guess. I don't know. And then you're also in the Purge universe.
Mhm.
And how cool is that? Because I love the Purge.
Yeah, me too. I like horror and all that suspenseful um mind manipulation, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. That was
That's
pretty cool.
that's a show that could have gone on forever. And
No, and I thought they would. Honestly, I didn't think that we would.
yeah,
Excuse me, because we did season two.
yeah, you were
I
like
didn't even
10
know there
years
was
after. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't even know there was a season one. So we did the season two, which I thought was a great storyline. And then I just assumed that they would do a season three with a completely different cast, but I don't think that happened.
But you know what's cool is like if they make another movie, maybe they could bring your characters back in flashbacks or something. You know what
Oh,
I mean?
right. Call them up. Yeah, I'm
I'm
ready. I'm
telling you,
ready.
I got all these great ideas. I'm just
Exactly.
gonna tweet my 4,000 followers.
That's okay. You're 4,000. Then they have thousands. That's where it starts.
Definitely, yeah, excellent. And then I wanted to ask you about Criminal Minds and SWAT because they're two different shows, but you're the same love interest in this with the same character. You know what I
I know,
mean?
I know. Well, not the same character,
No, but the same
but it's
actor. Yeah,
the
yeah,
it might as well be in a way. But yes, exactly. I did Criminal Minds, and I didn't even. Uh, I was working on another show, and they asked me to come in to guest star, possibly recur, and we had great chemistry, and I ended up being on the show for quite a while. It ended. I went on to do other things. Then SWAT came around. Again, I was working on the Purge
yeah,
actually, and I auditioned for SWAT. And Shamar, what I heard later on, Shamar had said to the producers, "Hey, listen, I have great chemistry with Rochelle. We've worked together before." So then they were like, "Yeah, sure, let's bring her in." And again, it was only supposed to be maybe 4 episodes or something, and
yeah,
it ended up being a recurring. Then I was um, a series regular for a couple of years as well.
yeah.
So that was just one of those things. It was like the gift that kept on giving.
I think it's very interesting, and like I'll be honest, I don't really know the difference, but I hear this a lot. What is the difference between series regular and recurring?
Oh, sure. Great question. So, a recurring means that they write you in every once in a while, and you get paid a certain amount every time you are on the show. So let's just say it's $1,000 to be a recurring. So every time they write you in, you get $1,000. Now, if you're a series regular, you are guaranteed to be in every episode, and they write you in every episode. And now you're getting paid um, per episode, and you're in. If there's 23 episodes, you're in 23 episodes.
Whoa, I want to be a series regular on something.
Yes, I mean that's where the big bucks come in. That's where the big bucks come in.
I could just be that awkward comedian radio guy, be like, ah.
And every episode.
I could like share my Coca-Cola facts.
Yeah, I don't know how long that would last though.
Oh,
Got to come up with some new stories for you.
that's true. That's true. Can you talk about Watson right now, or can you not talk about
Absolutely can talk
it?
about Watson.
Okay, so like how because I saw the trailer, it looks pretty cool. So like, can you tell us like how this you came into Watson?
I sure can. I'll give you the story of how I got the role.
Yeah, that's the story.
So,
Were you in Vancouver?
nope,
Oh,
but we shot it. Where?
Vancouver.
Vancouver.
Oh,
I'm from New York. So my husband and I had made plans in May to go back to New York, visit friends and family. And also we went to Turks and Caicos. So it was a 3-week trip. And I had just gotten the call prior to the vacation that SWAT was going to make me a recurring again. So now you know the difference between series regular and recurring,
so it's
right?
like a demotion.
Yeah, yeah. So it was a little bit of a bummer, but I understood because my character was just the wife. She wasn't a part of SWAT, so it was kind of hard to write for me.
Right.
Anyway, so I'm feeling a little bummed, but I'm like, it is what it is. We go on our vacation. While I'm in New York, I get the call to audition for this show called Watson. So everything is self-tape these days, right? So we always bring our self-tape stuff just in case, even on vacations. And my husband and I auditioned, and he reads with me.
Yeah.
Then I go on vacation to Turks and Caicos. Don't hear anything. I'm literally at the airport. I'm in the cab from the airport going back to New York because this is the third leg of the trip. And I get a call from my agent saying, "Hey, they really loved you. They want to do a Zoom callback."
Whoa.
I'm like, well, I'm glad that it wasn't while I was in Turks and Caicos because, I was really
No
low.
reception.
No, what'd you say?
No
Oh,
reception.
well, right. But more than that, I was just like in a zone. Energy level was super low. I didn't want to do anything, right? Except sit in
Yeah.
the sun. So it just worked out that the callback was the next day that I get back from Turks and Caicos. So I did it in my hotel room, and I meet Morris Chestnut. He's on the Zoom call, the producer, the director, and it was like this.
Yeah.
And of course, I was nervous, but it's a little different than being in the actual room.
Right.
That's way more intimidating. And then the next day, they called my agent and manager called and said, "Hey, you got it, but you got to be on a plane on Sunday." So this
Whoa.
was Thursday. I'm in New York in our hotel room. And then Friday, they say you got it. And then I was on a plane on Sunday from New York during my vacation, which hadn't ended yet,
Right.
to Vancouver. Yeah.
So are you guys gonna like restart the vacation? Be like, hey, listen, that vacation didn't count.
No, I mean, we were actually towards the tail end of the vacation anyway. So it's okay.
All
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Well, so I wanted to ask you because you did bring it up how like everything's on like audio computer auditions now, where compared like how do you like train yourself to do it like that? Because the cool thing is you could keep doing it until you feel comfortable sending it, but there's also energy vibes, you know what I mean? Like I feel you feel more energy
In
doing
the
it in
room.
person. Yeah.
It's plus and minuses, right?
Yeah.
So when I'm doing it at home, you can do it 50 times. So that's good and bad, right?
Right.
Because you want to get the perfect one, but when is the perfect one? Sometimes
Exactly.
it's
Yeah.
hard to figure out when to stop, and then you're exhausted. And then when you go back over them, you like take number 4 out of 50. I'm like, oh God. So it can be stressful, but it's the stress we put on ourselves. So it
Right.
doesn't necessarily have to be, but we do put it on ourselves. And I feel like we have to start just trusting and letting it go as much as possible. When you go into the room, there is the energy of the people in the room. It could be good or bad, though. Like it
Yeah.
could be good energy, it could be negative energy. They could be on their phones, they could be distracting. You might be very nervous and mess up the lines, and you're not going to ask them for 50 takes, right? So I think at the end of the day, I kind of like self tapes more.
Oh, that's the end of the day. That's
That's the end of the day. I just talked myself into it.
I was on the fence, but now I like
I know. I know.
no, I agreed to it, but also like I'm not really a real actor. You know what I mean? Like I'm just a stand-up. So like whenever I audition, I don't really have acting training. I have training in making people laugh, so I go off energy. So that's why I
Do
like
that.
imp yeah.
Yes. I understand. I truly understand. I do miss that. I do.
Yeah. But because whenever I when I go on an audition, I know I'm not gonna get the part. You know what I mean? Like I like going, I'm like, all
Yeah.
right, but how can I make these guys laugh? And
See,
then
that's great. That is the best attitude to have when you go into auditions. Not expecting to get it, just go in there, have the experience, and walk out.
yeah.
I wish
I,
I could just do like that.
I learned that, you know, I learned that with comedy because I'm still hoping for White Chicks too, so I could be in it.
You can be in it.
All right.
Maybe you have to reach out to them.
Oh no, yeah. I mean, you know, that's out of my I only have 4,000 followers. But I wanted to ask you, I don't know if you celebrate the holidays, but we just had Thanksgiving,
Hmm.
and when you hang out with your family, like, are you the type of lady where it's like, oh God, this is great, or oh God, they're gonna ask me questions about my career?
Oh no, excuse me, I have a small family and they already know about my career.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's honestly like this year in particular, it was just the four of us. My husband, me, my husband, and my in-laws.
Oh, nice.
And there's no questions to ask because they know everything already. And when I go home, it's like, my aunt and my cousins, and they're excited for me, and I don't mind talking about it.
Yeah. Oh, wow. This Thanksgiving for me was really tough because my dad was like, "Hey, are you on the D list yet?" What does that mean? Uh,
Oh,
I wanted to respect your time, but I have three more questions, and these
yeah,
are
go
actually
for it.
fast questions. I wanted to ask you, what is your biggest fear when you first start in this business, and do you still have that fear?
Ooh, what was my biggest fear? I mean, I think just not being good.
No.
Yeah. Because I'm such a perfectionist and I used to be a dancer. And so dancers all about like, I gotta be perfect. And I didn't want to do anything that I wasn't good at,
Right.
being judged or whatever. So I think, yeah,
Do you think though that like with acting though, like maybe that is kind of the point, is you need to be judged by your work and stuff?
you do have, I mean, you're going to be judged. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. And I'm used to being judged.
Yeah.
I just want to be good.
Yeah.
As a dancer, you go into a room and you're auditioning for the part.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's all about that.
Yeah, like I mean, I'll give you an example. I was in this movie called oh, what was it called? House of Karma. It was a horror film, terrible, like really really bad. And like I know I just did it because I wanted that recurring $1,000. You know what I mean? But I thought it was terrible. And someone after a show said that it was the scariest movie they've ever seen, and I was just like, what? You know what I mean? But then I was like, hey, maybe he actually thinks that. So
Mhm.
like I feel being, the judgment as an actor or even as an entertainer, you're always going to have that, and you should just realize that that's not really the fear because you're doing your job if you're getting judgment, you know?
That's true. And we tend to see things differently when we're in it.
Right.
I enjoy so much performing. I don't enjoy watching it.
Oh no, I can't
Um,
watch myself at all.
yeah,
Oh,
I do, but I don't enjoy it.
oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Especially me, because like I'm an ugly dude
Oh, God.
and I have an
No,
annoying
you're
voice. I'm just like, let's just fast
You
forward.
got the cutest round face. You're not ugly. You know you're
Oh, I don't
not.
have dimples. I wanted to ask you if you could go back into a time machine and talk to a younger version of yourself, knowing everything you know now, what would you tell yourself?
Ooh. Um, so interesting because it's like which time period
It
of
could
my,
be any time.
well, let's see. Oh, I have it. Oh, I have it. Okay. I would tell myself it's not over. It's okay. You're going to get better and you will succeed and you will have success. Because I did some show and I got fired. I just wasn't good, I guess. And I just remember bawling my eyes out, feeling like this is it. My career's over. I don't know what I'm doing. No one's going to hire me again. I'm terrible. And if I had myself to just say, it's okay, you're going to learn from this and you're going to be just fine.
Oh my God. I'm so glad you said that. And you didn't say, hey, if Keith Reza asks you to do his podcast, say no.
Never that.
Oh, okay. Excellent. Excellent. And then my last question I wanted to ask you, and this is a question you could pass if you don't want to answer, I understand. But having a husband who's also in the business, like, do you guys
Pass.
pass? All right.
Joking,
I,
joking.
I was gonna say, do you guys like, you guys help each other get lines and stuff, but do you guys also like, because I know, you did a film together, do you guys like, is it like you bring the marriage, you know what I mean? Like those two different worlds.
Yeah, I think we've gotten better at it.
Yeah.
Um, I feel like in the beginning, we were both very sensitive, especially when it came to auditioning and reading against each other and giving each other constructive criticism,
Right.
because you want the partner to just love everything you do, but we're not perfect.
Right.
And so, and it doesn't mean that we don't love each other. We just want each other to be the best versions of ourselves. And we've been able to let the ego go and learn how to give each other constructive criticism and not take it so personally. So that's something that over the last 8 years we've worked on.
Oh,
And
that's
yeah,
awesome.
and it's been working. It's been working.
Yeah. I love constructive criticism. Like I think that is the healthiest thing in everything because, like whenever people criticize me, I cry, but it's always constructive because I'm losing weight.
I always think that you're being serious, and then you end with that. Yes, you're a comedian.
Well, where can the folks at home follow and support you at?
Oh, so I am on Instagram, Rochelle Aytes for real.
Whoa. What
And
happened to one, two, and three?
I'm slow. I'm like, yes, I'm slow.
I thought you got like maxed out on followers. You had to. I'm on my fourth one.
Oh my four. Yes. Oh yes. I have so many followers. Okay. I don't have 4,000, but I don't have a million either.
Oh,
So, but it's building.
yeah.
And then Instagram, I think it's the same. And I'm not on bye bye Twitter.
Oh yeah, Twitter got weird. It got
Yes.
really
Bye
weird.
bye. I'm on
Yeah,
TikTok, honestly, but I'm never on there. I'm on Instagram the most.
yeah, yeah.
That's
I
where
like
I
I like TikTok because I like to it's I don't know, it's bad joke. I was gonna think of a bad joke.
you stopped yourself.
Well, no, I was trying to say tic-tac-toe, but then I was like, where does TikTok
Where's that? Yeah, it's not gonna work, I don't think. Oh, wait,
well,
before we go, so my show Watson, I talked about how I got the role, but the show itself stars Morris Chestnut. I'm in it. I play the medical director of a hospital in Pittsburgh, Mary Morstan, and it's a Sherlock Holmes kind of show, but it's a medical drama,
yeah.
and lots of fun, mysterious things going on. And we have a special guest that comes in, so you got to watch the show. It airs January 26th on CBS right after the AFC game.
Whoa. I mean, I don't mean to brag, but I kind of spoiled the special guest in the intro. I'm the special guest.
Oh, duh.
Uh, well, thank you so much for talking to
Oh,
me,
of
and
course.
I
Thank you
hope
for
you
having
had
me.
fun. And this was awesome.
I did. Thank you so much.
All right,
Okay.
Zoom high five,
Yes,
and we'll talk again soon.
absolutely. Take care.
All right, have a wonderful day.
You too. Bye bye.
All right, guys, that was the episode. Subscribe, rate, review, tell a friend, and we'll see you guys next week on Reza Rifts.